Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a little while. I've been very busy and I've been busy because I am rebranding my business, and that is one thing that I am going to be talking about, or the main thing I'm going to be talking about today for this YouTube. If you don't know me and it's your first time here, my name is Emily Olivia. I am an online coach. I've been an online fitness coach for 6 years. I am rebranding to a life coach, a mindset coach, an empowerment coach. My new brand is called Empowered, which is very exciting. I'm also a counsellor and a psychotherapist, and I'm a retired IFBB pro bikini athlete. So a few things going on. But the main basis of my YouTube today is talking about my rebrand and talking about my coaching business, because I've ran a coaching business for 6 years. It is the most successful it has ever been, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey for sure, and I am sharing all about that journey today and how I've kind of wound up rebranding and going from my niche to what I'm going into now. And how I even got started, because I recently did a question poll on my Instagram and if you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Emily Olivia Coaching. I'm very active on there. Out of all my social media, that is my most active one. I also do bits on TikTok as well, which is probably where you see more of the reality of me. But recently I did a poll on my Instagram giving people the opportunity to ask me anything, and majority of what got asked was about running a coaching business and being a coach and any insights that I had and motivation and whatnot. And I've got a lot of insights. I've done a lot. I'm very successful as a coach now. The rebrand is, of course, daunting because it is completely changing my audience. But we're going to get into that. But we're going to start with how I started. So let's go back 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I kind of got thrust into the world of being an online coach. It was something that I always wanted, or that I'd wanted for a while before I actually embarked on it. But I never really anticipated having to take the leap with it as quick as I did. I was working in a hotel. So let me set the scene. I had been going to the gym since 2015, I think. It was 2020. I had been competing since 2018 as a bikini athlete. I wasn't a professional yet, but as a bikini athlete. I had recently done my PT qualification, and I worked in a hotel. And I was in uni as well, studying counselling and psychotherapy. And I was working in this hotel. It was a steady job, whatnot, but I was like, no, I'm ready now. I'm ready to embark on following my dreams and my goals and being a PT. So I started working reception in a gym, and I started to PT alongside, self-employed as a PT, employed by the gym. And what happened? It's 2020, guys. Lockdown happened. I was entitled to nothing, because I'd left my job at the hotel. I'd gone to the gym, but I hadn't been employed there for long. And I'd only just started PTing. So I was literally entitled to nothing in terms of earnings. I was lucky to be in a position where I lived between my mum's house and my boyfriend's house at the time. So I didn't have any big overheads. I didn't have loads of bills to pay. And the fact that I wasn't going to be getting any sort of income was at least I didn't have lots to pay for. But I knew that the only way I was going to get any money is if I made it work, if I got online, because everybody was kind of thrusted online at the time. So I got online. I took the few PT clients I had. I think I had maybe 3 or 4. And I said, oh, do you want to do some online stuff with me? I'll charge you less for it. Helps build up my clientele, my experience. And just we'll get you some results, and that'll get my results as well for me, my business. And they were, yep, let's do it. 70 quid a month. That's all I charged, 70 quid a month. So realistically, I'd gone from nothing to What's 7 times 4? 200 and, oh my God, I'm so bad at maths. 7, 14, 21, 28, 280 quid. 280 quid is what I made, which I would take. Considering I didn't have any bills, 280 quid will take that. And I was happy to at least be getting something. I did all of my coaching via Google Forms and did I use Google Forms and Google Sheets? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Google Forms and Google Sheets. No, was it Sheets? Or was it actually Google Drive? I don't know. Anyway, I used something very, very simple to make meal plans and to make training plans. I emailed them to my clients. They checked in on Google Forms. Amazing. And it worked. My clients were getting results. I actually still work with one of my clients that very first started with me now as well. She's on my team. And it worked. Clients were seeing results. I was charging peanuts for it, but it was getting my experience up. It was getting me out there, and I was happy with that. I knew that I needed more though. And because we were all online, I just started to promote. I already had eyes on me because I was already quite relevant within the bodybuilding scene, within the gym scene in my town. Like, I'd already been posting a lot on my social media, so my followers had been going up. I wasn't near, I think I've got roughly 13.9k on Instagram. I was nowhere near that. I think I had maybe a couple of thousand, which was good for like a small town gym girl who competed a bit. And I was happy with that. I was fine. It got me in people's eyes. I promoted. I started doing diet plans, doing training plans, and people were interested because I'd already set myself up in that industry as somebody who trained, somebody who had a body transformation, someone who competed. So it didn't take long for people to reach out and to work with me. And because I charged peanuts, 70 quid, people came on board. Did everybody follow their plans? Nope. Did I get results always? Nope. But it got me out there more. The only problem was because I literally charged peanuts, people expected peanuts. So it ended up taking me a long time to start putting my prices up. But I did in time. At the time, I also recognised that I needed another stream of income. And this is something that I still live by now. Multiple streams of income, very important. You want a few, strings to your bow. When you are running your own business, when you are self-employed, don't just have one sole income, because if that one goes to shit, that's that. Whereas if you've got a few different things that you can lean on, that's always nice. It's more comfortable. And anyway, so I recognised online coaching, okay, I'm charging what I'm charging for that. I need another stream of income. So being in the bodybuilding industry and obviously being an athlete too, I started promoting posing services. I was a good poser. I had a few years experience in multiple different federations. So I started doing that. And what did I do? I charged peanuts again. So I was charging £25 an hour per session. And I was buzzing at the time. The most I'd ever really worked for was, I think, 20 or 25 quid when I was a PT, and maybe £12 or something like that when I worked in the hotel and in the gym reception. So £25 was lovely, and I was getting back to back people. People in the industry already knew who I were. They wanted me to pose them, and I was so cheap. They went for it. So I was making like £100 in a day sometimes if I had a busy day, and I was really happy. More results, more people coming to me, more money, amazing. Like, my clientele for posing was massive. But as I just started, I was absolutely winging it. I was winging it. I was burnt out. I was saying yes to everything. Any client that wanted to work with me, anytime they wanted to do, weekends, weekdays, evenings, stupid time in the morning. I literally had zero structure. I just needed money, and that's how I saw it. Like, I wanted my business to take off, and I needed money because it was lockdown. So I had to make it work because I was in this place of desperation. And I don't want to set that kind of tone, like I only do this because I want to earn loads of money. No, I did it because I was passionate about it. But at the time, I was in just such a place of desperation too, that I knew that pressure would make me show up. And that pressure of being self-employed, a lot of people feel this. And it does put a lot of drive into you, because when you're self-employed, it is on you to make it work. And I think when I first started coaching, I needed to be thrusted into that place of discomfort in order to make the business work, to take it off. I needed to be in a place where you've got to do this. You've got to be uncomfortable. You've got to promote yourself, You've got to put it out there. You've got to pull clients in. That's what I felt. And I didn't care about putting myself out there on social media. I didn't care about putting myself all over Facebook. I remember somebody said to my best friend once, God, your friend Emily does my head in, because everywhere I look on social media, she's just there. And my best friend turned around and said, well, she's doing a job right then. And that's always stuck in my head, because if I'm annoying people on social media, then I'm getting myself out there enough to be seen. And that's the approach that I had when I first started. And that's the approach I've kind of kept throughout. So at that time, that place of desperation that I was in was exactly what I needed in order to drive me to really build my business and to really show me what I needed to do in order to bring clients in. As I said, things were going well. It was lockdown. A lot of people were online because we couldn't go out anywhere. So things started to kind of pick up a little bit. But because I was charging so little and I was doing so much work, I was burning myself out quick. As I got more popular, as I got more results, as I started to put more structure in place with my business and I started to build up more of a reputation, I then started to slowly put my prices up. And then I would be met with obviously people being a bit resistant and not wanting to pay. And that always kind of knocked my confidence at the time, because I wasn't, despite the fact I was doing it, I wasn't necessarily the most confident in what I was doing, because I didn't have the structure. I didn't have loads of results yet. I was still trying to navigate my business. My business was definitely chaotic to begin with. So when people pushed back and didn't want to pay, I always kind of took it personally. Now, obviously, I don't take it personally. But as I built up my experience and as I built up my reputation and as I built up my results, it almost became easier to put my prices up and to actually charge my worth, because I started to have evidence of my worth. So that's kind of how the business started. I got thrust into it. I was forced into discomfort, had to make it work. It was on me to get me where I wanted to be. And I was happy with the fact that it took off, or took off to an extent. When lockdown was lifted, I went back into personal training. When I had personal training, coaching and posing all in all, that's 3 different streams of income there, guys. I was in a much happier place. I wasn't making loads and loads of money at all. And that wasn't the point. I was doing what I loved. I was enjoying what I did. I loved personal training. I loved working one-on-one with clients. I loved coaching and helping people towards their goals. Obviously, I could do that from anywhere, and I loved posing. But again, because 2 of those jobs were online, that did make setting boundaries hard. And throughout this YouTube, I'm going to kind of tell you guys what I learned and what difficulties I came to and how things changed for me. So it's kind of going to be like a lesson along the way. Because you can work from anywhere and you can take your laptop anywhere, it sometimes feels like there is no excuse for you not to be working. And that's definitely how I felt to begin with when I first started. So I was buzzing that I was doing what I was doing. I had PT in posing and coaching. I loved it. I was passionate about it. It was in a what's it called? Industry that I absolutely adored to be a part of. It was fun. Like, it was so much fun. It's amazing doing what you love as a career. Like, I cannot tell you how grateful I am to be able to do it. But as I said, I was burning myself out because I felt like I was working every hour under the sun. I was getting up, doing PTs, getting home, having lunch, doing some check-ins, going back out to do evening PTs. Then I'd have to slot a posing session in somewhere because again, I wasn't setting boundaries. And one huge thing I'm very much about now in my business is boundaries. So when you first start, you might feel a need to be really, really flexible and to work around everybody because you just want the clients. No, set your boundaries. Set your boundaries because you don't want to burn out. You don't want to lose love for what you do. You don't want to be overworked, overtired, because then you won't show up better for your clients. You want to show up the best you can for your clients. So boundaries are good to help you recharge yourself so you can always be your best version of yourself for your clients as well. So I learned that in time. It took me a while to learn that. I was doing coaching plans at like 3 a.m. I was doing check-ins, every single day of the week, even weekends. Whereas now I don't do check-ins on the weekends. I don't reply to messages after a certain time. I don't reply to messages straight away either. I actually have all notifications on my phone off, bar my phone calls, my text messages and Facebook Messenger because my mum messages me on there. But I actually have all notifications off because I like to protect my time. I like to open my messages and reply on my time. I always get back to clients the same day unless they message me after a certain time or they send a voice note that I can't listen to. That's another thing, just another little hint, tip, what not to put in here. You need to also set boundaries with voice notes. When you have multiple clients and all of them are sending you voice notes, it can be very challenging to listen to them throughout the day, and you need to protect client confidentiality and data. Safeguard your clients too, but that's a whole other story. But when it comes to voice notes, client confidentiality is everything, data protection is everything. So you cannot be listening to voice notes around people. So one thing that is, as I said, a huge boundary for me, I try not to let clients voice note me over 2 minutes, simply because if I have, as I was just saying, if I have 20 of you all voice noting me 2 minutes, they build up quite quick and I don't have the time to listen. And also I do live with my partner. So if I live with my partner and a client's voice note with me, I can't listen to it. I'm not going to get back to that client for ages or until he leaves and I can't banish him from our house to listen to voice notes. So I think it's very, very important that you have boundaries with voice notes. I'm happy to voice note clients throughout the day when my partner's not around, but in the evenings especially, or on the weekends, it's challenging to listen to them. So I think it's very important to set boundaries with your voice notes. If a client wants to chat, book them in for a call. You got loads of time for a call and chat to them at some point then when you can. So anyway, boundaries are very, very important in your business. And as time went on, as I progressed with my business, I started to become more understanding of the importance of boundaries, because without them, when I didn't have them, I was burning out. I was overworked. I had no time for myself. And I felt guilty every time I did something for me, because I was like, oh, I should be working. I can get my laptop out. I can do this, that, and the other. And I felt bad for it. But that was my own insecurity and that was my own challenge, because I was not creating structure, I was not creating boundaries, I was not creating routine in my business. I was then allowing myself to fall short, burn out and feel bad for not getting things done when they needed to be done, because I wasn't actually setting times for them to be done. So very important that you set those boundaries. My business progressed. I was happy with how it was going. I was working with anything and everything in terms of goals, because ultimately I was weight loss, muscle growth, getting into the gym for the first time, experience, non-experience, everything I was taking on. And I didn't mind that, because I actually love working with a variation of clients. I think it keeps things really interesting. It's so much fun to do. It's great working with different goals for sure. But as time went on, I obviously did work with a variation of different goals. But as time went on, I started to learn about niches, and I started to niche down, and I started to work with only natural women, because I am a natural athlete. I wouldn't say I wasn't working with natural women before. I'm pretty confident I was, but I didn't put a label on it. So as time progressed, I started to work solely with natural women. That's what I promoted myself as. So more and more women came to me because they wanted a natural approach. They didn't want to take fat burners. They didn't want to take steroids. They didn't want to have anything like that. And I marketed myself in that way as somebody who worked with natural women. And that was great. That kind of narrowed down my clientele to a degree, which was definitely daunting at first. When I first was like, oh, I'm going to start working with natural women, I was like, oh God, how many people is this going to cut off though? How many people have taken assistance before that might not approach me? How many people won't pose with me now because I only work with natural women? Like, am I limiting myself? Am I cutting myself off? No. In time, I came to see that actually niching down was hugely beneficial for my business, hugely. I was a natural athlete. I was a natural bikini athlete, as you know, I've already mentioned. And I was known in the industry for being an inspirational natural bikini athlete, if I do say so myself. And I was successful at it. So when I decided to market that way, I found that I was already inspiring a lot of natural women, but a lot of natural women who were inspired by me wanted to be natural bikini athletes. And this wasn't something I did at the time. I just focused on body goals and body change and weight loss and fitness, etc., etc. And then a couple of clients that were with me for weight loss asked me if I would prep them for shows. And I was very open and honest about this. And I think this is a very important thing to be in your coaching business. Be open, be honest about your capabilities and about your experience too. When I was first starting, I was open and honest about the fact I'd never done it before. That's why I was charging less. I was learning new things. I was, learning how to get them results. And my clients, they appreciated my honesty and they were like, yeah, that's fine. We've got trust in you. Let's do it. And I loved that. And that open, transparent communication was what really built our relationship. And then when it came to prepping my first ever clients for bodybuilding competitions, I was open and honest again. I said, I've never done this before. I've got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge within the sport. And of course, self-education is very important. I'll learn more if we're doing this, but you've got to trust me. It might not go how we want. And they were like, yeah, no, I want you to do it. Both of them were like, yeah, I want you to do it. So we did. We embarked on that journey. And all I'm saying is they both did incredibly well. And that kind of set up my business even more so to go into the niche of working with solely natural athletes. And I still worked with natural women, but it became more about natural athletes and natural bikini girls and bodybuilding clients. So that was great. Having that experience with those two then led me even more to, right, I'm going to niche down even more. I'm going to bring even more bikini athletes to me. This is going to be my thing and I'm going to be good at it. And that's what I did. I rebranded, I remarketed, I put myself out there as the natural bikini coach, natural pro coaching, and it worked well. People came to me, people started to recognize me for doing that. And the more results I got with my clients, the more my reputation built, the more people wanted to work, or women wanted to work with me to get them to stage. And I loved that, absolutely loved it. What had gone from a really chaotic start to my online coaching business to no structure, working every hour under the sun, burnt out, winging it completely, winging my marketing, winging my promotion, winging my branding, like literally everything. My main goal was just visibility, just get yourself out there. To then having a branded, eventually, obviously I did brand Emily Olivia. It was Emily Olivia Fitness to start, and then it was Emily Olivia Coaching. Then I branded to Natural Pro Coaching, and I took it more seriously. I paid for somebody to do my logo for me. I got robes for all my clients that did compete. I recognized that your branding is actually very, very important. And having a strong brand, having a strong identity for your business is huge. To own it with pride, to get it out there, for your clients to want to be proud of the brand that they're a part of in your coaching business. So I created that. And I was really proud of it, really proud of it. And it did take off, and my business grew and grew and grew, and I was buzzing. This was in 2022, and I was really happy. I was really happy with how things were going. There was still things I wasn't 100% on. There were still areas I was falling short. And this is the thing with when you run an online coaching business, there is no right or wrong way. Well, there are definitely wrong ways to do it, sorry. There's no perfect way to do it. There is nothing out there, and you might see things out there, how to set up a coaching business, how to run your coaching business, how to set up a successful coaching business, etc., etc. But when I first started my coaching business, there was nothing out there telling you how to do it. You just found what worked for you. But even now, there are still so many things out there that tell you this is how you should run a coaching business. This is how you should set up a successful coaching business. Funnels, pay for marketing, content pillars, etc., etc. That's how you're going to get it. Let me tell you, right? I've never done a funnel. I don't really know what a funnel is. I've never done a landing page. Never done it. I have never had content pillars. Never. Yeah, all the things that they say you're meant to do, I never did any of that. In the whole 6 years, I never did anything like that. I posted my client results. I put myself out there. I did posts that educated for a bit, and then some fun posts as well. I just got myself out there. That was the main thing. Just get yourself out there, be visible, show what you're doing, put a bit of marketing on there. I learned things as I went. And I learned a lot of valuable knowledge, definitely, but I never did any of these kind of courses that they say you're meant to do. I tried a business coach 1 year, $5,000 down the drain, not even lying. Like, that was just a scam. I was literally just scammed to give them money for nothing. I've worked closely with other people who have businesses, and I've learned from them. And I've seen things on social media, and I've learned from that as well. But a lot of the time I've winged it, and I've done what I felt was beneficial and what I needed to do to get the business going. And even now, I've got a business coach right now, but she's local to me. She's none of these ones that you see online saying, oh, I earn 10 grand in every month or whatever. And that's a whole other story we'll get onto. But she just helps me navigate my visions and helps me bring them to life. We are actually doing a landing page. We're doing a channel. I'm doing a lead magnet. I've never done that before. I'm going to run a 5-day free empowered challenge if you want to join. I'll put the link somewhere, which is great because these are all ways to help you build your business. And especially with me rebranding and relaunching, I definitely want to do it in a more structured way. But what I am saying is these things aren't necessarily necessities. What is necessary is that you're passionate, you're resilient, you're consistent, and you get yourself out there. It only fails if you allow it to fail. It'll only be unsuccessful if you give up. That's what I have in my head. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I was in this place where it was literally a case of, you have to make this work. The desperation that I had to make it work. I had to bet on myself to make it work. And I still apply that now to my business, which is why it works. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent and I can't remember where I got to. Where was I? But anyway, I'm just going to go with where I think I was. I'd build up Natural Pro Coaching. I'd built up the branding. I was really happy with how it was going and the reputation. There were still things that I wasn't 100% certain on. I still wasn't sure what platform I wanted to use to coach from. I still wasn't sure about the best way to communicate with clients. I didn't know whether I should be one of those coaches that does check-ins on WhatsApps or how my check-in responses should be. I did message replies for a while. I did voice note replies. I do video replies now, and I stand by them being the best. I absolutely love doing them. But in time, I got there. And I figured out what was best for my, that's where I was at. I remember now. I figured out what was best for my coaching and my brand. And I tried so many different things. And I now and have been for the last 2 years, very, very secure in the way that I coach, in the way that I do check-ins, in the way I approach my clients, in my messaging. You will see things where people are like, oh, if your coach doesn't reply in 2 minutes, then get rid of them. Well, actually, my boundaries and my standards, I don't want my clients to be heavily reliant on me all the time. I want them to feel strong, secure, develop knowledge. I'm there to support them. When they need me, I'll always reply the same day unless they message me after a certain time, or maybe it's a weekend. But I want them to learn to trust themselves. I don't want my clients to feel like they can't live without me. So I also don't want to create that dependency, but that's very reflective of my brand and what I do. So again, you got to stick to what you want to do for your business. But anyway, I was really happy with how it was going. And then I moved to Dubai. Now, if you followed me on Instagram, you will know that I hated Dubai. I really lost myself out there. I didn't disclose it at the time until I came back and I reflected on everything. But I moved to Dubai with this mindset of I'm going to be the best coach I've ever been. I'm going to be the best athlete I've ever been. I'm going to get there. I'm going to lock in. Oh, it's going to be amazing. With this whole I want to earn 10K a month dream. Now, that might be the goal for some people. That might be what brings you ambition. That might be what brings you drive. That might be what you really want or what you determine as success. And I thought that, oh, if I get 10K a month, how amazing would that be? Little did I know that actually I was chasing something that was going to leave me so empty. And moving to Dubai and really, really striving for those goals of 10K per month, best coach ever, best athlete ever, actually did the complete opposite for me as a coach and as an athlete, and completely ruined my mentality at the same time. I moved there, I isolated myself, I worked so much and brought on so many clients. Don't get me wrong, the work came, the clients came, I was busy, but busy to the point where I couldn't even get through all of my check-ins on one day. I was carrying check-ins through to the next day. That's no good. Clients need replies on the day. I always reply to every one of my clients on the same day with check-ins, unless they come through really, really late in the day and I stop working for that day. But again, set boundaries, check-ins need to be in by this time. But I was falling behind. I was overwhelmed, I was lost, I was striving for this big number that I thought was going to bring me fulfillment and success, and it just didn't. I was overworked, I was burnt out, I was letting clients down, I was letting myself down and disappointing me. I didn't start this business. Don't get me wrong, in lockdown, I was desperate to make some money, but I didn't get into this because I wanted to just make loads and loads of money. I got into this because I was passionate and because I loved helping people, and I wanted to do something that didn't feel like a job. I wanted to do something that was fun and that I enjoyed. And moving to Dubai and striving for those goals of being the best coach ever, earning 10K a month, and best athlete ever, completely lost myself. Completely. The business had been going so good. The coaching had been so good. Moved to Dubai, I was like, yeah, peak. It's going to be the best. It's going to be even better out here. No, I completely lost myself. And I'm so grateful for the clients that bared with me through that tough time, because a lot of them are still on my team now, and I'm so grateful for them for sticking by me, because it was hard. It was really, really hard. And I am forever grateful for them. And I was so disappointed in how I'd let my business slip. And this is the thing. You have positives, you have negatives when you run these businesses. Sometimes they go great, sometimes they don't. Live, learn. Take accountability, take responsibility, reflect on what could be better. When things fell short for me, and when I was disappointing myself and disappointing clients, luckily, not something that went on for a long time, but I recognized where things weren't going as I wanted them to. And that's the thing. I took accountability, I took responsibility, and I was like, now you need to show it better. This is your business. These people that are investing into you, you need to be the best that you can be for them. So I moved back to the UK. It felt like I was going backwards. It felt like I was starting again. It genuinely did at times. And I moved back, and my mental health definitely took a hit, but I knew I was healing. Going back home was allowing me to heal and allowing me to almost remind myself why I started my business, why I started doing what I was doing. It reminded me of the passion and the love I had for it. And it allowed me to reset myself, reset my boundaries, reset my standards, reset the business and get a new routine underway, get structure underway, settle myself into life back home in the UK, and remind myself why I did this, why I loved it. I hired a business mentor at that time as well to help me get myself back into a good place with my business. But as I said earlier, that business mentor literally took $5,000 from me and gave me nothing else. So I was kind of left to my own devices to re-establish my business. And I did. Everything that I knew and I'd learned, I re-implemented it. I gave myself structure, I gave myself boundaries, and I actually ended up setting up my business again, setting up Natural Pro Coaching even better than it was prior to that little rough patch and that downfall. And this is the thing, it's as I said, it only fails if you let it fail. You will if you don't give up, you'll be sound, literally. And I didn't give up despite the fact I'd had that downfall and I was knocked. My confidence was knocked. I doubted myself as a coach massively, but I came back stronger. I rebuilt up my business. I rebuilt up my structure, my reputation, and I started again in my own head. Obviously, my clients didn't know I was starting again, but in my head it was. And I started building the brand back up, which I was really, really happy with. And I ended up, off the back of that year was my best ever year for client results. I had a 100% placing record, which is when clients place in the top 5 within their shows. I got every single client a top 5, and I got more and more clients coming to me. And I honestly was the best coach I'd ever been. And continue to be, because that streak has not ended. That has been going on since 2024, since I built myself back up, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing since. Like, it's literally, I needed that crash to rebuild and restart and reset and remind myself why I absolutely love doing this, and remind myself of how good I am at this as well. And since then, it has been incredible doing the job that I do. So much so that I am embarking on the rebrand. And I know you might think, oh, but she's doing so well, why would you want to change? Well, I want to change because I've changed. And I still love coaching athletes to stage. I'm very selective about who I help get to stage as like bikini athletes and bodybuilding athletes, because since I've retired, I've been very, very reflective of the impact that it has on people. Now, I'm a counsellor and a psychotherapist, as I said, and I very much look after my clients' mental health as well as their physical health. And I've seen the toll that it takes on clients mentally. So I'm very selective about who I work with to get to stage now, because if I don't think that they have the right mentality or approach towards it, then I won't coach them. I want to ensure that they are aligning with me in the way I do things. And if they want to do that with me and the way I do it, amazing, we'll do it. But now I'm in this place where as much as I have loved coaching that for the few years that I've done it, I also love coaching women to excel in life, to feel good in themselves, to empower themselves, to be confident, to prioritize themselves. And over the years, yes, I've coached people to body goals, but a lot of the time I've coached people to life goals and to mindset development and changing who they are and changing their lives. And I've got people out of toxic relationships. I've got people moving across the world. I've had 4 clients move to Australia. How crazy is that? Because I've helped them get there. I've watched people start their own businesses and help them do that. I've helped people start their own coaching businesses and become incredible coaches. I've helped women, I can't even tell you, do their first photo shoots, make new friendships where they've not had any friends, learn how to love themselves and invest into themselves again. Like, I've achieved so much away from the body with clients when I've just been their fitness coach. So now the reason I want to rebrand and relaunch my business is because I want to help women recognize they can do anything they want in life. Yeah, I can help you get to your fitness goals. I do mind and body coaching because I help them developmentally as well. Come to me for that. But also, if you're in a good place with your body, or maybe you don't want to really focus on your body and you just want to thrive in life, you're like, I need direction with goals. I don't even know what I want to do with my life. That's fine. Come to me for life coaching. I'll help you navigate those goals. And if you know what your goals are and you need more structure to make them happen, fine, come to me, let's do it. If you're struggling in your self-confidence, in your mentality, you're feeling lost, you feel like you've got no purpose in life, or your mental health's at rock bottom, no problem. Come to me for mindset coaching, I can do that. I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist. Let's help you find you again and find that love for you and have more mental resilience and happiness in life. Amazing. If you want to be surrounded by other women that empower you and uplift you, and you need community, you need friendships, you want to get out and about in the real world, empowered events, that's what I'm doing. So you see how my business is developing. I'm still helping people or women work towards incredible goals, but now as a whole. And I've learned how much I love to do this from 6 years of doing this without even meaning to. The whole time I've been doing the 6 years of fitness coaching, it's actually been exactly what I am rebranding and relaunching to do now. So I'm very excited about it, very, very excited. And everything that I've learned from the last 6 years, I'll be applying to it. But I can't wait to just take everything and catapult 6 years and hopefully maybe just a year of building this business up and getting it into the same place it's taken me 6 years to get to with Natural Pro Coaching and my fitness coaching. Hopefully I'll be able to achieve all of what I've achieved in 6 years within one, because I've learned so much. So I'm very excited about it. It's been trial and error for sure over the last 6 years. There have been highs, there have been lows. I look back at some of the challenges I went through and difficulties I had, and you know, I'm so glad that I persevered through, and I'm so glad that I learned. But going into my rebrand now and my relaunch and empowered, it's going to be so different in all the good ways, so different but so similar. I'm still going to be the confident coach I know that I am. I'm still going to coach my clients in a way that is absolutely going to get them where they want to be, because I know I'm good at what I do. But there's going to be so much that I've learned from Natural Pro Coaching that I get to put into this to make this even better than what I'd created previously. And what I created previously was successful. So what's this going to be like? But despite being super excited, I am still nervous, because there's always going to be that part of me that has a little bit of self-doubt, because I'm human. I'm going to be nervous, of course, because there's always that part that's saying, but what if it does fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if it's not what people want? What if your packages don't align with people? What if you do charge too much? All these burning questions that I had when I first started my coaching business 6 years ago. And look where I got off the back of that. And I was having all these thoughts back then, but look where I got. And that's because I never gave up. So my main tip for you, if you are starting a coaching business or thinking about it, don't give up. Persevere. Get yourself out there. Visibility is everything. Trust me. It'll only fail if you allow it to fail. Like Empowered will only fail if I allow it to fail. But it won't, because I won't let it. And that kind of concludes my video for today. It's been a long one because I feel like I had a lot to say. But if you have any questions at all, anything that you want to know, any questions about having a coaching business, or even my rebrand and relaunch, I'd love to talk more about it and get it out there more. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like the video. I massively, massively appreciate any support. I'm still learning this YouTube thing and getting myself out there. It's again trial and error, visibility, as I just said. So any tips you have, any feedback you have, I'm always open to hear it. But if you like what I'm doing and you want to keep watching, amazing, because I'm going to try and get out a video every month. I'm not gonna, originally I said a video every week. I haven't got the time for that. Do you know why I thought it was a good idea? But now I'm going to try and get out a video every week. And if you've got any ideas or any things you want me to talk about on the next one, you let me know. Every month. I think I just said that. But thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.